Fundamental concepts: the phonetic and phonology.
Phonetic versus phonology. Phonetic is the science of the speech sounds, and phonology is how sound patterns function in a given language. This is by Collins B. and Mies in 2003. Phonetics and phonology are both the same. In some sense, the study of the sounds of the language and what differentiates them and what aspects the sounds of the language they look at phonetics really looks. And actually, phonetics are the sounds that are coming out for your mouth. And there's two kinds of phonetics. The articulatory phonetic and the acoustic phonetic. The articulatory phonetic is the study that how they are produced by our body. And acoustic studies how sounds resonate and how they are transferred. Phonemes. The first task when you analyze the speech is to divide up this continuous flow into smaller chunks that are easier to deal with. We can call this process segmentation and result in smaller units and term segments that these correspond very roughly to vowels and consonants. There are a good degree of agreement among of native speakers that say that the speech contributes segments, and if the speaker asks how many speech sounds there are, a specific answer that says that we have three: the M, ah, ah, or N. Phonemes. Segments are not operate in solution but combine to form words. Eh, the segments M, ah, and N have no meaning, and their own and only become meaningful if they form part for a word. All languages, there are certain variations in sounds which are significant because they can change the meaning of words. For example, if we make word mean replaced by a p, we get pen or pan. Two words can distinguish by a single sound and are called a minimum pair. Auditory phonetic. The auditory phonetic is the study that how the ear receives our speech, the signal, and we call auditory phonetic. The formulation of the speech message in the brain of the speaker and interpretation of in the brain of the listener and the branches of psycholinguistics. This means that you normally use some receive on the ears and some function of the ears and the brain process the information that are received. So you can understand the things that the other people are telling you. Okay, now I want to explain articulatory phonetic. The articulatory phonetic is refers to the stages of transmission of the speech for a signal speaker to a listener. The movements of the tongue or lips or the throat or the speech organs that are articulations to hands of the area of treatment than the articulatory phonetics. For example, if you have voiceless sound, a labiodental sound, or different kinds of sounds, and this is main the articulatory phonetic because under you are seeing how they are pronounced and what organs for the speech organs are used to pronounce some letters or some phonemes. Acoustic phonetic. In this point, the acoustic phonetic is the phonetic that provides the environment. For example, when you have a specific environment and the sound travel out through the whole room, that means the acoustic phonetic is a study general in the science of the acoustic, and it reminds you that phonetics is used the term for a study of the sounds in the human language. When the words have more than one syllable, we normally stress one particular syllable, and it's called a stress syllable. That means that we emphasize that syllable or say it more loudly because we want some rhythm or because the word is like that. Because if you don't have a stress syllable, you sound the same way. If you stress the words, you have rhythm and you have better pronunciation. In some words, more than three syllables maybe have two syllables that are stressed, and it depends on the syllable and the thing that you are stressed. Um, for example, cigarette. The third syllable red is more prominent than the first one, and we have many kinds of syllables that are stressed. We actually, when we write syllables, we add a specific symbol to emphasize or to write the stress syllable in order to do more comprehensive to the students when we are teaching this kind of situation and like stress syllables. Accents and dialects. We normally conf- we normally confuse accents and dialects, but they are totally different because the word dialect refers to a variety of a language, which is different in many things, not only in pronunciation, also grammar, also vocabulary, word order, or something like that. And an accent is the same English or the same language and only change some pronunciation. And the difference between an accent is that the pronunciation, it's like I'm saying before, it's that the pronunciation is different, and accents have different variation in different aspects. For example, it's not the same English in USA than British English because we have different vocabulary words like aluminium, or fall, or autumn that are what's completely different, or lift or elevator. And somehow in some grammar structures are some difference, and also in punctuation we have some differences in punctuation. That's why it's not a dialect, it's it's a dialect, not only an accent. Vowel sounds. When we talk about vowel sounds, we are referring to the phonetic chart. The vowel sound in English, we have three groups that we classify the vowel sounds. In basic terms of the moment, we have a step diphthong distinction that I will explain then. The first one is check steady state vowels. These are short. They are represented by a single symbol. For example, x, that is short and easy to pronounce. The second one is free steady state vowels that are being equal. They are long and represented by a symbol plus and mark length. For example, or E. They are long in different ways. The third one is the free diphthongs.